Pokemon. In this world of Pokemon, trainers are assigned to journey around the region to capture, battle, and to become the best that no one ever was. Of all the franchises, Pokemon has to be the one everyone has to know, from its games, anime, movies, manga, and training cards. For today, if you're a beginner and you want to know how to play the card game, then you're in the right place. My name is Alberto Comas, and as representative of Knowhere, I'm here to teach you on how to play Pokemon. In order to win, you will have to beat all your opponent's Pokemon, get all the prize cards, or make them run out of cards. Your deck will consist of exactly 60 cards. You can only have 4 copies of your card with the same name, even if the image is different, with the exception of energy cards, which you can have as many as you want. In your deck, you need to have at least one basic Pokemon card. There are 3 different types of cards: Pokemon, Energy, and Trainer. For Pokemon, it comes with Basic, Stage 1, and Stage 2. For Energy, it comes with Basic and Special Energy. And lastly, for Trainer, it comes with Item, Supporter, and Stadium. We'll explain more of this later. To start, you and your opponent will shuffle your decks, flip a coin to determine who goes first, and then after that, you both will have to draw 7 cards. On your mat, you have your active spot, bench, deck, discard pile, and prize cards. Each player has to start with 1 active Pokemon. After you got your 7 cards, in turn order, you and your opponent will pick 1 basic Pokemon and place it face down. If you don't have one on your hand, you show your hand to your opponent, place your card back into the deck, reshuffle, and then redraw 7 cards. This is known as Mulligan. Repeat this process until you have a basic Pokemon to play. Your opponent may draw 1 card for each Mulligan you do. Once each player has a basic Pokemon in play, you can now, in turn order, play up to 5 additional basic Pokemon face down to your bench if you want to. Now, without looking, both players take 6 cards from the top of their decks and place them in the prize area. Afterwards, flip up your active and bench Pokemon. Now we can begin. Whoever goes first can draw 1 card. If you want to play additional Pokemon, you can place a basic from your hand face up on your bench, or you can evolve your Pokemon if it has evolved from with the name of your basic. To evolve your Pokemon, you must go in order from basic to stage 1 and stage 1 to stage 2. You can't evolve a Pokemon on the same turn you put into play or a Pokemon you just evolve. When they evolve, all attached cards are kept along with any damage counters. However, effects like Confuse, Sleep, or Poison are removed. A Pokemon can't use attacks or abilities from its previous evolution. Whoever goes first can evolve their Pokemon. You and your opponent have your own discard pile below your deck. The cards taken out of play go to the discard pile. If your active Pokemon is knocked out, you can move 1 Pokemon from your bench to an active spot. You can only have 1 active Pokemon at a time. If you run out of it, you lose the game. And when the active Pokemon is knocked out, all cards that are attached to it are sent to the pile too. Attach 1 energy card from your hand to any of your Pokemon in play. Pokemon only use energy that is attached to them, and you can only play 1 energy card per turn. There are different types of trainer cards, such as Item, Supporter, and Stadium. For items, it's basically your Pokemon tool that you attach to them to give your Pokemon unique abilities. A Pokemon can only have 1 tool attached to it. You don't replace it or remove it once it's already attached to it. For supporter cards, while it's able to give your Pokemon a unique ability, it can only be played once and afterwards placed in the discard pile. For stadium cards, however, it can stay in play once you place it on the field. Only 1 stadium card can be played at a time. Discard the old one for another. However, when you go first, you can use trainer cards. Once per turn, you can retreat your Pokemon by paying the amount of energy in the retreat cost, which is located on the bottom right of the card. If nothing on it, then it's free. You can switch the retreating Pokemon for another on your bench. Keep in mind to leave all the damage counters and attached cards onto the Pokemon you're switching. If your Pokemon is asleep or paralyzed, you can retreat. When your active Pokemon goes to your bench, whether it's retreated or got there some other way, special conditions and all effects from the attacks are removed from it. Even if you retreated, you can still attack on the same turn with a new active Pokemon. You cannot retreat if you don't have enough energy to pay the cost. Now some Pokemon have their own unique abilities too. Some of them can be used before you attack. Follow what it says on the description. Some abilities work all the time when you're not using them. You announce your abilities either with your active or bench Pokemon. Keep in mind that the abilities are not attacks. You can still attack if you use an ability. Once you attack, your turn ends and you cannot perform any other attacks. The player going first cannot attack on their first turn. Only your active Pokemon may attack, but it will need to require energy cards to use its moves, depending on the type of color energy it needs. If there is one with a blank star, you can use whatever color energy you have. If nothing on it, it will cost you nothing. Announce what move your Pokemon will use, as you can only use one move for this turn. There are some attacks that do not do damage. On the top right of your Pokemon card, it's their health. Once you attack, you place damage points to your opponent, depending on how much damage your attack is dealt with. It also depends on its weakness. If your Pokemon symbol matches your opponent's weakness, you can apply the multiplier to your attack value or your active Pokemon. Or in case of resistance, subtract the inducted number. During between turns, you check on your Pokemon if it's dealt with an effect, like poison, burn, asleep, paralyze, or other abilities. You can use a coin flip to determine how the Pokemon is placed with the effect. However, not every effect can be used with a coin, like poison or burn for example. If a Pokemon is poisoned, you have to place 1 damage point per turn. The same case can be if a Pokemon is burned. But for the other effects, it will be determined by a coin flip. If a Pokemon is asleep, you can wake it up with a coin flip. If yes, then it's awake. If not, then it remains asleep. For confusion, if your Pokemon attacks, there's a chance for it to attack itself. With a coin flip, it can either attack your opponent or itself. And for paralyze, your Pokemon will remain stunned for the remainder of the game. With a coin flip, it can either attack your opponent or remain stunned. And that's the basics on how you play Pokemon. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and we'll be sure to answer you back very soon, alright? Thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.